on your face.
Leaning forward. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll kick it off. I'll try to keep my comments a little short. I'm not too great at talking anyway.
Go ahead, talk.
So welcome to the Bhagavad Gita group. We've done this before in Massachusetts with a smaller group. We had like 3 or 4 people, but it was all in a room, everybody together in a room. Now this is a new thing in Zoom. So we'll have to see how it goes because we have to deal with all this technology. Even just dealing with Google Groups and sending the emails out was tricky because Google Groups isn't, the user interface isn't the best. Anyway, so what we were thinking was that we would do 1 chapter each month, maybe the first, what did we think of, Lata? Did we think of the first tomorrow, first Sunday, or?
I think we should make it the last Sunday because that will give us enough time, to prepare or whatever. And that was my game. I was thinking last Sunday of does it suit everybody? Raise your hand. Suits everybody?
Yeah.
Well, remember that the last Sunday in November will be right around Thanksgiving time, right? So as long as that's okay for everyone, that's fine.
Is that okay for everybody?
For right now, yes.
Yeah.
For right now, yeah.
Okay, let's keep it.
Yeah, if necessary, we can adjust it and change it around.
Yes.
So but we are targeting like 1 chapter a month, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but each chapter mentions several different concepts, and these philosophical concepts. You can go to Wikipedia or something like that, or read a good book, or maybe you already know a lot of these philosophies. I find that I don't know a lot of the stuff. Everybody may not be as ignorant as I am, but there are so many Indian philosophies, and it helps to have some time to read something and position it in your mind. So 1 chapter a month, I think, is still good. And I think the key thing for us is just so that it doesn't become just a very abstract thing. You want to have it like Shiv says, everything is a metaphor, right? So Krishna is a metaphor. Arjun is a metaphor. In this case, you would almost say that Arjun is a metaphor for yourself. So you put yourself in Arjun's place and you apply this to some particular issue that you're facing, and in each chapter you think how what is being taught in that chapter might help you approach whatever issue you have. And that's the only way I think this can be really useful for everybody. Otherwise it becomes just an abstract philosophical discussion, and that's, I think, for those who are interested in philosophy, that's great. It's a very interesting book, the Gita. Lots of interesting philosophical concepts, but to make it really live, I think you have to apply it to whatever your own life is, your own issues that you see around you, maybe even issues that are facing the country. How do we approach this kind of stuff? The other thing is that Hinduism is very misunderstood, I believe, in the US and maybe even worldwide, and even misunderstood by Hindus, really. And so hopefully we can use this. I don't know if there is enough interest, then in the future we may dig into more aspects of Hinduism, if that's worthwhile, in Hindu philosophy and Indian history as well. We've got to deal with these tools, Zoom. So I'm not sure how exactly this is going to work with Zoom, but we'll give it a good shot. because everybody's not going to be able to attend every meeting, we assume. That's why we're recording it, and we will post it on Facebook, and people can continue the discussion on Facebook if they want to do that. And in case they miss a meeting, you don't have to miss that particular discussion, and we'll go on and discuss it on Facebook. Um, as we need a moderator too, right? And I might not be the best candidate to be the moderator, so I'm requesting either Malika or Shiv to be the moderators. I think Malika already said that it's hard for her because she has a little one who kind of demands a lot of attention. So probably it will be Shiv, and it'll be the job of Shiv to allocate time to the different speakers, and to keep the discussion focused on a particular issue rather than letting it wander all over the place, and also to divide the time between speakers so that someone doesn't end up taking too much time. Other than that, I just want to stop my talking, and we could just introduce each other, starting with Shiv, and then we'll just go.
All right. Hi, guys. So I'm Shiv. I guess I'll be the moderator from starting from next session, which will be on the first chapter of the Gita at the last Sunday of this month, which will be on the 30th of October. So I guess for me, this will be a great opportunity to explore the Gita and how the Gita has, and Hinduism in general, I guess, has influenced my life and my thinking and my actions. And I would say that, yeah, us taking it slowly, chapter by chapter, is, in my opinion, a great idea, such that what it would allow for is for us to really take the time with each chapter to not just read it and understand it intellectually or philosophically, but to be able to, yeah, actually relate it to what we're experiencing right now, both in our personal lives as well as societally in the world, what's happening right now. In my own perspective, the Gita is, and all of the characters talked about in the Gita are all aspects of who I am. And the purpose of learning about these spiritual texts, these scriptures, is, in my view, to use them as a tool to clarify my own way of being, my own way of thinking. So to note if I'm internalizing and understanding what Krishna is saying, because Krishna is, again, who I am. And I would really be interested in getting as much discussion as we can about everyone who's relating this to their life, how they're incorporating what they're learning into their life. And I would also suggest that everyone who's partaking in these discussions not only actually reads these chapters as we're going through them, but is taking, let's say, 5 minutes to just sit once a day and just relate these whatever you're learning from it, or whatever questions you may have about it, or disagree. You might disagree with what Krishna is saying, right? And if you do, that's okay. And just to note what it is that you disagree with and why. And this will allow for the contemplation process to happen internally in order to refine the belief system, in order to become more able to express with clarity who we are from without and without getting lost so much. Like, I think that particularly right now at this time with what's happening in the world, there's kind of a lot of chaos happening right now, and over the next few years there's going to be I think things are going to get a little bit more chaotic, and we're going to need this time to go internally and be able to connect to our own intuition, to be able to find a peace within, even though there may be chaos happening around us. So I guess that's just my little introduction. And if maybe Ma, you want to continue and
Okay.
a little bit?
Again, I don't want to take too much time. I will just say one thing, that, yeah, I really read the first chapter very carefully this time. But before that, I read Mahabharata in short. I think I wanted to know who is Bhishma and who is Dhritarashtra and all these relatives, whose son is Arjuna, these Pandavas and Kaurava. I think it's important in context. I think it is important. So if I read the version by Mukundananda, which is small, and also read the Nityananda's version of the summary, and it was very useful. I wrote it down for once. Can you believe? I wrote all the summary so that I would keep it in my mind. And I would leave it at that, and I'll give Jiten the turn to talk now.
Jiten and Gita.
And Jiten and Gita, of course.
And both of us, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little confused, as to what the purpose of this whole talk is, because Gita is very, very deep,
Yes.
So just to understand it, before you apply to your life and all of that, first you got to understand this, what it is and what Krishna is saying and what it is implying, So I was listening to Sarpriyanandaji, you are talking about one chapter in one sitting. He is doing 2 shloka in 1 hour.
Maybe that's what we should do.
Maybe we could do that. We could probably, if you recommend that, we could consider that. Yeah. Whatever you.
I don't know if anybody has listened to Sarpriyanandaji or not. You can see how he's expanding the whole thing, what it means, what each word means. So the whole chapter 2 is like 10, 15, 20 hours. Just,
Oh, wow.
yeah, because there are 72 shlok. The total number of shlok in Gita is 700. And each chapter has different lengths, so different number of shlokas and different concepts based on what Arjun, understanding was. Because there are a lot of these things, questions, answers to Arjun's questions, as to what he was facing. And the same thing, if you are facing, then certainly it is worth looking at the answers that Krishna is giving, in there.
Okay.
So,
Sarpriyananda, you said?
Sarpriyananda. Just the chapter 2 is like a lot of hours of his understanding, and it's so deep. Each word, is so deep, and he explains it in so well terms, as to what it means. Just the infinite word, I was listening, just the infinite word. What does infinite mean? Is if you listen to Sarpriyananda, you will understand what the infinite means. It's in space, it's in time, and it's by object. And by object means what? Nobody knows what by object means. He explains it. What does by object mean?
So, Jiten, uncle, we will definitely be counting on you to be listening and conveying whatever you're learning from Sir Priyanandaji, please. Okay?
And also, we can take as long as we want. I mean, so that we can have a meaningful discussion. We don't have to be in a hurry. We don't have to have a timetable of saying, "Oh, we have
And
to
we can
finish
keep
one
coming
more."
back
Chapter 1 is
to
fine.
the
Chapter
previous
1
chapters as well.
Yeah, chapter 1, before chapter, after chapter 1, chapter 2, 72 shlokas, there are 4 or 5 concepts that Krishna has explained in there, so those concepts, we can take one concept at a time, and we can understand that. But this is, the person has to have a lot of knowledge and very good memory. You hear Sir Priyanandaji, but your retention is very little, so you can't retain much of it.
Yes.
It's okay.
So
It's
you
okay.
can't-
Whatever you are retaining from, I will listen too, by the way, but whatever you're retaining from what you are listening is whatever you're learning and whatever is integrating into your reality, right? So whatever that is, if you're sharing that with us, I'm sure that will be very helpful for all of us to understand on a deeper level what Krishna is saying. And we can all do this and listen to as many perspectives about it as we can in order to understand it on a depth. Sometimes it helps at least to get a base level understanding of before going a little deeper and then a little deeper and then a little deeper. So I think it's great to go into things in depth, but let's take our time and it, there's no rush. But yeah, we should be going into these things in depth. I think it's important though to not get
okay,
too lost
and
in the depth.
there
because
are,
there is
by the
a lot of
way, one thing more I want to
Sorry.
emphasize. There are 2 Gitas, one is Bhagavad Gita, the other one is Ashtakvar Gita.
What is that? The other one?
Ashtakvar Gita.
Oh, what's that? I don't know.
So
What's the
Ashtakvar Gita has its own full story, and it talks about self, only self. And this is given by Saint Ashtakvar.
By who?
By Saint Ashtakvar.
Ashtavakra.
Ashtavakra, right.
Oh, wow, Varun, you know something, huh? Really well.
Sounds like we need to listen to Varun too. That's the
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see. That's what we are hoping. We are
Ashtavarga
hoping that
is,
we'll learn from other people.
who
Praveen,
is
Vibha is
twisted
looking
8
for the
times.
contact. Vibha is looking for, can you send her the invite again if you can without bothering
Okay,
yourself?
okay.
Vibha Mishra. Okay. Gita, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm reading the same book that Jiten is
Okay,
reading.
okay.
So I'm trying to understand. I'm not very good, but I'm trying to understand it.
That's okay.
Gita, I had heard you give a quick summary of the part of the Mahabharata that leads up to the Gita, and you were giving it to Lata. So once we're through with all these introductions,
Okay.
maybe if there's time, you could do that again,
Okay.
But Gita, if Gita, do you have anything else to add to what Jitain just said?
No, I'm trying to understand. I have to go a long way.
Oh, okay.
Vikas, your turn.
Vikas.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, so I'm Vikas, the son of my mom and my dad, Jeet and Geeta. There, you just heard. Hey everyone. So yeah, so I guess I'm out here in New Jersey, and you may see in the future also my wife Smriti. She couldn't attend today. Yeah, so I guess my experience with the Gita is also very limited. I've read it like maybe once or twice, sort of very sort of quickly, not it didn't really go into that much depth. So definitely I think it's sort of it's like an onion, you sort of go like one layer at a time. So I think interested to sort of go through it again and maybe go a little bit deeper this time.
Great.
Varun?
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Varun. I'm from Virginia, basically, and currently residing here in Herndon, Virginia, if you guys know that. So looking really forward to all these discussions, and I'm kind of spiritually inclined, and I have had a habit of going through these YouTube videos, whatever Jitendra ji mentioned about Sarva Priyananda Swami and other commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. I already went through them, but I don't think I'm very good at it. But yeah, I am looking for more of spiritual discussions, like who are we, like who am I kind of discussions. And also see, that's what Bhagavad Gita says, right? Like who we are and how to lead the life, the way of life. So yeah, kind of looking forward to discuss and brainstorm the discussions and um, improve in spiritual life, improve as a spiritual being. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It was nice to see you all. And I agree with Jitendra that we should go like, see, it's very deep, right? It's not something that we start one chapter today and finish it off, right? So it's better to keep it as a discussion,
Yes.
like experiences and stuff like that related to Gita only. Like how are you dealing with a situation like this, and how do you go about it, kind of. So that's what I was looking for, and I really look forward further for these discussions in future.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Vidya,
Thank you.
Vidyan.
Padmini? Padmini is Vidya's mother.
There.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Vidya. I live in Vienna, Virginia. Very close friends of Malika and Mahesh. Anika is close friends with Lara, and she's taking music classes with Dr. Mundakur Lata. And this is my mom. She's visiting us from India.
Hi. Namaste.
Yeah, yes, namaste. Yes. I'm reading the book of ISKCON, the Prabhupada.
Ah.
Yeah.
We also read that.
In classes. Yeah, this book.
Oh,
Yeah, we
wow.
also read that.
Yeah. I'm writing also the shlokas and understanding the meaning.
Very
So,
good.
I already finished 12th chapter.
In the Prabhupada.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
ISKCON.
Is that related to Gita or that's separate?
Yeah,
No, that is Gita as it is.
Oh, I see. Prabhupada.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Bhagavad.
Very good.
That'll be great. I think, and is it there online for us to read if we want to? I don't want to keep buying so many books. We've got so many collections of these Gita books.
Yeah.
So, so it's hard enough reading one book. But I think if we can get this online, if Vidya and Padmini, if you, or even Jiten, if you can send everybody the name of these books and whether we can get it online, we would really appreciate.
Okay. Okay.
Lara is our next candidate. Lara is 10-year-old, by the way.
Oh,
Very smart 10-year-old.
I just found it online. I can send the link.
Oh, sounds good.
Great.
Yeah. So there's actually, I don't know if you guys have used the website PDF Drive. You can get like every book basically out there for free. Well, not every book, but like 60% of the books out there, they're all there, and you can just download them for free.
Very good.
I'll send the link.
And we'll send
Great.
it to everybody, in the group, whoever is here.
I mean,
So-
they will get it as long as
Yeah. Oh,
Vikas sends it, they'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just
Lara,
send you to a Google group or whatever. Yeah.
Lara beta.
Hi, my name is Lara. I'm in 5th grade and I'm here to learn about the Gita.
Malika.
Very
So
smart.
I'm Malika. I'm Lara's mom, and related to the Mundker family here. And I think learning about the Gita, it's kind of the Hindu, it is the Hindu Bible, and I think it's just good to have a regular reminder and discussion about kind of values and the way we should live our lives and why, and that may be different for every person. So I think it'll be a really interesting discussion, and looking forward to learning about how everybody applies the Gita to their own lives and decisions.
Awesome.
Deepak.
Hi, we joined a little late. Sorry, we had visitors at home.
No problem.
I'm Deepak, and this is my wife, Anu.
Hi.
Namaskara.
Namaskara.
We live in Ashburn, Virginia.
Yeah.
And we are very spiritually inclined family. In my high school, I studied at a school called Ramakrishna Vidyashala in Mysore, India. And it was a requirement that each of us needed to recite the Gita without the book, all 18 chapters, all verses of each chapter.
Oh, wow.
So I used to be able to do that in high school, but maybe now I'm indirectly revealing my age. It's been so long since I've done that I cannot do that anymore now. I don't remember it. I remember a lot of verses, but not like each and every verse. And while at school, what we learned was that, Gita was very enriching, applicable to our lives, evergreen material, teaches us a lot about divinity and a lot about relationships, a lot about relationships among loved ones and challenges in those relationships and how to deal with those relationships. And that's why they called it a forever green scripture, which can be used as a reference material for all ages and all even generations to come. Verse by verse, a lot of it applies to our lives, and it would be nice to go through that, and at least for me to refresh and learn from it and hear others' points of views about it as well.
And you can teach us the Sanskrit.
Anasuya.
Yeah, I am Ansuya, and you can call me Anu. Actually, in my house, like my dad was very spiritual. We have gone to lectures in Ramakrishna Ashram as well as Chinmaya Mission, Chinmayananda's lectures also on Gita. And basically, Gita is something which God has given us a gift where you can, for how to follow the principles in your life, what karma you should do, how you should lead your life. Mainly the Gita is about the karma yoga, which says how you should lead your life to go to the salvation. That's what we have heard I have heard all my life. When I was living in Bangalore, we used to go to a lot of spiritual lectures. So that's why I am very interested here to learn more about Gita and know other opinions and views also, and discuss about Gita.
Thank you.
Shobha, are you there, Dolly? Dolly, you can unmute yourself.
I think she's not there.
Masti maar rahi ho.
Yeah. Did we miss anyone? I guess not.
Vibha wanted to still come in, and she said she's not getting the link. That's why the link is not working for her. I think she's doing something wrong.
She has the link, but it's not working. Is that
She
what
said, I
you're
got
saying?
an email from Shiv. The link does not work. I don't know.
Oh, that's I'm not sure if she recognizes what the link is.
She's pretty smart,
Why would it
If
not
I
be working?
understand,
I
she understands.
Actually, the link did not work for me also.
Really?
So what I did was I started Zoom manually. I went to the email and I manually entered the meeting ID and manually entered the meeting passcode, and then I was let.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's weird. I was able to just click
For
the
me, the
link.
link worked. Anyway, so I guess she has missed it. Shiv, you want to try getting her in?
Well,
still
I
trying.
think that it's pretty much we're done with the introductions for today. But let's all, I think it's good we've all set our intention now with what we are planning to do with ourselves here with the Gita.
Okay.
And let's all, if we haven't already begun, start reading this book. And when we come across situations in our life that we can apply this to, I think it might be helpful if we were to maybe keep a journal, if you can, of how you are applying these principles and from the Gita in your life. And we can talk about what we're all learning together when we meet next, okay?
Oh, I just want to comment one thing quickly.
Yeah.
And maybe Jiten or Deepak or Varun, anybody can clarify it more. But one of the things that I've noticed, I've been starting to dig into all this and taking Indian philosophy seriously. And what I'm discovering is if you look at the gunas, right? The sattvic, tamasic, rajasic, all that. So that kind of, you can figure out for yourself which of these gunas are most appropriate for you, right? And then you look at all these different philosophies and the models, and you kind of create a model in your mind of the different alternative ways you can approach problems. And what you realize is Hinduism is wonderful in the sense that it doesn't tell you just one way to do things, right? It suggests different ways you can approach the things based on your own characteristic, based on the time, meaning based on your particular the position that you are in your cycle in life. For example, are you very young or very old, or are you in the working stage? How should you apply different things? And if you listen to all these very interesting people, the people who have made these knowledgeable commentaries on the Gita, they offer you various insights into the thing. And you can say that, oh, there are all these different models of how spirituality is. So because spirituality is a broad range of things, and you can figure out what is most appropriate for me to approach this particular problem in this particular time. So Hinduism is one of the few religions where it doesn't tell you always do this, no matter what, It isn't like that. It gives you the freedom to think and to adapt to the particular problem or the particular situation. So I'd like someone else to comment on that.
That's awesome. I really like that view. I find that yes, for me, a big part of what I am learning from this is how to connect to my own intuition. And I think that one of the highest things that one can learn from these, from all of this, is how to listen to yourself. How to listen to yourself, actually, versus listening to whatever beliefs we have inherited from, let's say, our parents or from our society or wherever. How do you know if you're listening to yourself or if you're just falling in line with whatever beliefs one has inherited. And how do you know which beliefs need to be shifted? Based on which problems are coming up in your life. So this is, I think, an intuitive gift that comes from studying these scriptures.
Deepak,
And
or
I hope this
Jiten?
helps with this. So for all of us.
Deepak or Varun? Or
Yeah,
Jiten?
I want to say something.
Yeah.
What I have learned in spirituality is that in Ramakrishna Ashram or Chinmayananda, what he was saying, and a lot of other scriptures, there are different roads to a same place. Like you may go in a local road or expressway or any other way, but you reach the same goal. So the same way, to reach the God, there are different ways, paths, like karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, all those paths are there. Whichever is easy for you to understand and go in that path makes the difference. So finally you reach that path, but everybody goes in a different path. And one more thing, what Gita is, that's what Gita is. Krishna, that's what he preaches Arjuna, what is Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. All the aspects of life, how a human being should lead and go to that final salvation or whatever is there. That's what Gita is. That's why it's that popular and it's like holy book for Hindus. So that's the reason why a lot of people learn about Gita, because it teaches the various paths which you can use yourself in your lifetime to reach that goal.
Yes.
These are some.
There are some things in the chat, Praveen, Shiv. It's from Malika. It says, are there versions or specific translations that people recommend? Also, please suggest whether there are specific sloka verses that we should prepare to discuss for next week. I agree with that too. I want to know which sloka to read because there's so much to understand.
So I know that Vikas is going to send one of the interpretations that Jiten Uncle was talking about. And I know myself that Swami Nityananda, Swami Mukundananda are also sharing their perspectives, at least online and as well as in book format. So I think if others know either now or, I mean, you can even send in the group email. If we could all maybe send whatever sources of information or sources of interpretation we may find useful for our own self to the group, so we can all learn and share. I think that would be helpful. That's a great question. Thank you, Lara, Malla.
I think actually it would be interesting to read different versions and see kind of and compare that as well, right? Even if we're not all reading the same version. And then if somebody knows Sanskrit, I don't unfortunately, but it would be really interesting to hear if somebody knows Sanskrit and can sort of evaluate some of those translations, because there's a lot we don't know that's happening in the translation process that hopefully, you know, somebody could help us out with.
So so as per Jiten, what I understand, or Jiten and even Varun, that we go one sloka at a time. Is that what we're going to do, Viren? Varun? Oh, somebody gave
I know if we can share
no,
our
not
experiences.
that
Oh, sorry.
way, you know. I think chapter 1, we can go the whole chapter as is.
Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't talk about a lot of concepts, and chapter 2, I think we will have to divide that. But chapter 1, I think we can go as is.
Okay.
Okay, I think Jitan uncle, if you could maybe help us to figure out which shlokas to talk about in each consecutive session, that would be great. That would be a help.
Varun G. Desu has sent us in the chat that this is Swami Prabhupada version.
No, that's not me actually.
Oh, that was me.
Because
Sorry.
No, yeah, I just sent both the so the general website's pdfdrive.com, so you can download any book you want there. And then I also sent you a link to the Swami Prabhupadaji's version, which is like Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Going back to Praveenji's point, actually, that's a very good perspective to go from tamasic to rajasic and then to sattvic nature. But like to get enlightened or to realize who we are, it's nishtraigunyot bhavarjuna, right? Like we should exceed above all these three gunas. Only then we can realize. So we
This
should.
is the three guna.
Yeah.
What is
Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
But every human has to pick one of those.
Yes,
right?
no. It's. I mean,
we all have.
Yeah, Ramana Maharshi is Raman. If you have heard about Bhagavan Ramana or Swami Ramakrishna Paramhamsa or Swami Vivekananda, they are all, they are beyond these gunas, right? Ramana, if you have heard of Ramana Maharshi.
Can I share something about gunas?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
There are sattva guna, rajas, and tamas. These three are the basic gunas of a human being, which has in a human being.
All human beings.
Yeah, all the human beings, sorry. Sattva guna is something which is the way you live is very sattvic. Like you eat the no spice food, only you lead the spiritual path, and you don't harm others, or you're not too hyper. All those things are sattva guna. And rajas is the king. What they call is usually the royal kings have that rajasic guna, warrior kind of guna, like where they eat spicy food, their anger level is high, they are very hyper, all those things. I'm just explaining whatever I understood. There are more into this, but basic thing I am explaining. Tamasic is something who is very, very lazy. He doesn't follow any principles, like Rakshas guna. All those things are tamas. So these are
all mentioned in Gita. These are all mentioned in Gita in the later chapters.
I also want to explain, from my understanding as a yoga practitioner, these three gunas, we only fall into identifying or becoming like associated with one of these gunas over another if the body and the mind is out of balance. When the body and the mind become in balance, all the three gunas actually become balanced with one another. And that is how in Ayurvedic medicine one finds health.
But isn't tamasic, isn't that supposed to be when people drink alcohol and all that?
Yes. That all comes under tamasic.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not good though.
Yeah, of course.
No, a human being has some portions of tamasic.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's a mixture of
sattvic,
all these three gunas.
So you're never 100% sattvic or never
exactly.
Yeah. So if you are dominant in sattvic nature, you are you can say as you are sattvic, and if you are dominant in rajasic, then you can say rajasic. And it's up to us like to identify with one of these gunas and try and come to sattvic nature. And beyond that, you should grow, like to become enlightened. So enlightenment is Nistray Gunyo. None of these three should be there. That's what in Gita also Krishna says to Arjuna, right? Klaibyam masmagavah partha Nistray Gunyo Bhavarjuna. So that's what he says. And yeah, that means like you have to grow beyond these three gunas and then just think about your purpose. So
But
nothing else will be there.
now one more question for maybe either Jitain or even Varun, you guys understand better. For a child like Lara is only 10-year-old. What is she going to do
Exactly.
applying Gita to her life?
Exactly.
Is there something that she can do?
I
mean, she can study. She's studying well. Whenever she goes to games or swimming or whatever else she does for sports, she does it with full music, dancing. She does it with full attention. What else can a kid do?
She can do sattvic softball pitching.
She can be aware of all these things, and in certain point of time, like given her past karma or past lives, whatever good karma is there, like that will come into place, and she will start going into that path. That's how she is inclined, and some others, like who are even elder to her, they are not even showing any interest, and they think that this is foolish, and only when you grow like 70, 80s, only then you need to concentrate on these, you need to be spiritually inclined. But for her, like she's really I can say that she's really great at this age. Like if she's thinking, then that's something extraordinary and special.
Yes,
definitely.
She's
I can see that Anika is her friend. She's also joined right now.
Yes, Anika.
Hi, Anika.
Hi, Anika. Welcome.
That's Malika's, Malika, Vidya's daughter and Lara's friend. She just came in, I think, after the class. So that's great. Oh. Are we done for today, maybe?
So what is the planned frequency? Is it once a month then?
Yeah.
I think we should do once a month so we have enough time to read.
So I think Shiv said the next one will be the end of October. Is that right, Shiv?
Well, the last Sunday of October is October 30th.
That sounds fine.
Is everybody okay with that?
Okay.
All right.
And
So
we'll start.
until then, let's
wait a minute. Wait a minute. We were going to turn to Gita for a quick synopsis of what leads up to the war. Is that okay, Gita? Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell Lata that I think most of us know that how did this battle come forth? Krishna had already said that Mahabharata, he used that word because the Kauravas were not giving the Kauravas were not trying to give even a single piece of land, not even a needle inch of land, right? And Krishna tried to help them out. Say, okay, don't give everything, but give only 5 land, 5 villages, and he was not ready for that.
Wow.
So now the whole thing starts that okay, let's see what happens. So they go after this. They go to Krishna, who was sleeping at that time, and who was sitting. Duryodhan was sitting at his head, next to his head, and Arjun was sitting at his feet, and both were giving a chance. Oh, and then when he opened his eyes, he said, "I'm the one who should be given first." Duryodhan says it, right? And then Arjun says, Krishna said, "I saw Arjun first, and he's the youngest." So before that, Arjun said, "I just want you." Right? I want you, not anything else. Duryodhan said, "I want the army, the whole army and all that." So what happens is then he said, okay, that's what it is. I won't pick up the weapon. I will just be a charioteer. That's why he's a charioteer for Arjun. And Arjun is happy and he's happy. Duryodhan is happy. He got the arms. So this is what happened. And because Duryodhan was very vicious, he did not like Pandavas. So that's why, and even Dhritarashtra was blind and he was very prone, he was more towards his own son. He wanted everything for his son, even though he was vacillating all the time. This and that, this and that.
Just to clarify for Lara, his sons were Kauravas, right?
Yes.
Dhritarashtra's. Lara.
Yes. But they belong to the same clan, Kauravas, right?
Kaurava.
Yeah, and they were two brothers, Pandavas and Dhritarashtra.
Yeah.
And Dhritarashtra's son was Duryodhan, who was a mean guy.
Yeah.
So this is how, and then, I mean, now we will be doing the first chapter quickly. That's why we came, and that's why the fight was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And both the armies are standing there. And Duryodhan is saying, oh, look, I have this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, so many warriors, and we'll certainly, win the battle, right? Now, Arjun says to Krishna that take me to the middle of the field. There's a dividing line kind of thing, halfway to the field, take me there and see who's fighting with me. And when he sees all of them, his Guru, Bhishma Pitama, Dronachar, and all these people who gave him, who are his relatives, he says, I cannot fight. So that's when Arjun, that's when the Gita starts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a gist. I mean,
so that's really with the second chapter, right?
Second chapter, also he laments, I won't fight, I won't fight. Is the 11th verse that starts that Arjun's, he says, okay, I don't understand anything. I'm surrendering to you. Then Krishna gives the whole lecture.
Yes.
Pravachan, The Gita starts at the 11th verse of the second chapter.
So I guess we'll start next time.
So now, I mean, we are going to start when he's on the battlefield.
The second chapter, yes.
No,
the first chapter is basically
first chapter.
And he says,
no,
I
second
don't want
chapter.
Jiten.
Yeah.
Where is Jiten? Jiten, we will start with the first chapter you said, right? In Gita, next week, next month, this month end?
Yeah, because people can relate to their own things, whether they have conflict with their family members about different things, that's what we are going to be talking about, what they are facing doing the karmas.
Okay.
Yes.
So we discussed the first chapter, entire first chapter, right?
Right, entire first chapter, right.
Yeah.
All right.
And maybe we can include 10 shlokas of chapter 2 as well, because that's part of chapter 1.
10 slokas?
Yeah, but those are the same pitch that the first chapter is, so first chapter plus 10 shlokas of the second chapter, that's the same thing.
Okay.
Well, next time we can start with the first shloka and see if we can get to the 10th shloka of the second chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
can Vikas has given us some downloading material that we can download.
Yeah, I actually just sent you on the Google groups. I actually just sent you the PDF, so you don't even have to download anything.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And we can all try and just send out whatever relevant information to the group that we think would be helpful.
What were you saying, Varun?
Yeah, I have shared some YouTube links as well.
Awesome.
Commentaries on Bhagavad Gita by Jaya Rao that really changed my perspective of life. So maybe you guys can go through that as well.
Will you send it to us?
Yeah, I already sent it in the chat.
Oh, you sent it in the chat. Okay.
Could you send it in the Google groups?
Yeah, sure. We'll do
because that way anybody who's missed the meeting, they can still get
Sure, Praveen.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think a lot of people must have missed it, Praveen, because
lots of people didn't show
Deepak
up.
and Anusuya was saying that they were not able to get in.
Yeah, that is strange. I don't know why.
Very strange.
And like just to, on a finishing note, like I want to say that Gita is something beyond religion to me. Like it's it's a science, it's a logic.
Yes, absolutely.
Clearly. Yeah.
I am understanding that now more. The more I'm putting effort into it, and I'm trying to relate it to the different in the Hindu philosophies and also listening to the different commentaries from different people. Like if you listen to Nityananda and you listen to Mukundananda, and now Sir Priyananda, all that, I think it'll be very Prabhupada. You know, I think it'll be very good, because then we get different commentators bring out different things, and it's very nice. And I'm really amazed. I missed all this in my whole life, you know, because I always thought Hinduism is basically just going to the temple and praying, you know, with saying all these things in Sanskrit, and which I didn't understand. And so I thought it was all about that, but it's not. The actual philosophy is very deep. It lets you be a different, it firstly lets you understand what kind of person you are yourself, and then you tackle a situation based on that particular situation in the way that suits your innate personalities the best way. So, you know, that's so I'm realizing that, and that is a fascinating part of Hinduism, which is not there in any other religion, I believe. Anyway.
I can see that Varun speaks beautiful Sanskrit.
That's
I just learned very famous and very deep, like maybe 4 to 5 slokas. I really love Sanskrit.
I love it too.
When you utter Sanskrit, your words get a power that can influence people, and that really, like, whatever you speak, that gets into actions. Like I can see that impact. Not with me, but like Swami Sarvapriyananda says something that really goes into our minds.
That's what Shiv has been saying to me. I'm learning a lot from Shiv, is that he says that the way you say, I mean, saying the mantras is important, and the way you say them, you can either do good for yourself or you can hurt yourself if you don't say it properly, you know. So there is a big emphasis in Hinduism on saying the slokas the right way.
Every word has a power. Every sound has a power. In Sanskrit, especially, like all these words, like if you can utter in Sanskrit, then any language, like you would excel in any other language. Trying to learn, but in this world, it's like people see me as weird. I don't know, but
I believe these slokas, what you're saying, Varunji, is that these slokas are like a lock and a key to parts of your mind.
Yes, correct.
That you can open with these sounds.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing to know. Like that's news to me. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah.
Even the definition of what is God, you know, that is defined in scriptures. You will be surprised how elaborate that word is.
Upanishads.
Upanishads defines what God is. And then the Jagat, you know, the definition of Jagat.
Yeah.
And then the Jeev, you know, these three are full of volumes and volumes of scriptures trying to define these three things.
Yeah, if you have heard of Upanishads, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, like the 10th biggest Upanishad that has the definition of God. Even like David Chalmers, if you know, like he's a neurologist, like he also went and saw those scriptures and tried to understand what's mentioned in there. So yeah, that's very deep, real God that's given there. Aham Brahmasmi. That's it.
Very nice session. Thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you everyone. Yes. So we'll see you October 30th, right?
Yeah,
October 30th. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you then.
Yeah.
And those who missed, I'll make a special call to them, Praveen.
Okay.
Some people missed.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
All right.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank
See
you.
you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
ये काफी knowledgeable है दूसरा right?